The man hides in the ice water and doesn't dare to move because a group of Spider-Men are searching for him outside. These spiders have infrared detectors that can accurately detect human heat. They are checking all the people in the building one by one to identify them. In order to prevent his identity from being exposed, Tom locked his door and had to hide in the ice water to avoid being tracked down. But the spiders are not stupid. They crawled in through the sewers. When Tom heard the noise, he didn't dare to move. But then an air bubble suddenly appeared. When he heard the bubble burst, the spiders moved immediately and climbed up to the bathtub. The next second, they discharged electricity into the bathtub. Tom couldn't take it anymore and had to come out of the water to let Spider-Man scan his eyeballs. Luckily, he had his eyeballs replaced beforehand. It wasn't time to remove the bandages, but it was enough to fool Spider-Man, so he managed to escape. But he couldn't hide like this. He had to prove his innocence. So he went to the crime prevention headquarters and injected himself with a disguise solution to blend into the office building. Then he used the replaced eyeball to open the door to the sanctuary. Curly was almost scared to death when he saw this and was about to sound the alarm. However, when he found out it was Tom, he not only didn't raise the alarm, but was also willing to help Tom. After all, Tom had treated him well in the past, but he never expected to be discovered. Tom had no choice but to take Anna with him, so the Prophet system was no longer able to predict crime. With only 51 minutes left, Tom immediately drove to the city. In the city, a friend could help extract key information from Anna's brain that could prove his innocence, but Anna was freezing, so he had to stop and buy her some clothes. Afterwards, he managed to find his friend, but he was almost scared to death when he saw that it was the Prophet. But when the friend realized the gravity of the situation, he decided to help Tom, even though it could cost him everything. They started downloading the data as soon as they could, but the images were still the same as before. The images show that Tom's murder is inevitable. But what's the problem? Tom wanted more footage, but the Prophet said there was none left. Just then, the Oracle had a seizure. She asked Tom to look at the footage, and it's still the same drowning from 6 years ago, but this time it's played backwards. What is the Prophet trying to tell us? Is there something else going on in this case? While Tom was puzzled, his pursuers suddenly came after him and he had no choice but to leave. But this time, with the help of the Prophet, he didn't have to be afraid of being caught. The Prophet told him to buy an umbrella and told Tom to stay in the hall. Tom was scared to death. There were so many chasers upstairs. Wasn't he waiting to die? But the next moment, a balloon seller came along and just happened to be in their way. He realized the power of the Prophet, and then the Prophet told him to give money to the hobo. He didn't know what was going to happen, but he did what he was told. The hobo was able to stop their pursuers while he was collecting the money, and they made it out of the mall. It's raining and they put up their umbrellas to avoid their pursuers again. But then a billboard suddenly appeared in front of them with a man with glasses on it. That's not the point. The point is that the guy with the glasses was in the preview. And the point is that this is a hotel. So Tom decides that the person he's about to kill is here. But why would he kill a man he'd never met? For the sake of the truth, Tom decided to go and meet the man. Unbeknownst to him, the style of this place is exactly the same as the one in the video. The young lady smoking. The same room number. Seeing that things are getting worse, the Prophet urges Tom to leave. Only by leaving this place can he avoid a tragedy. But Tom didn't believe him. He was convinced that he wouldn't kill a stranger. So he started to check the stranger's luggage. But he was shocked when he realized why he had killed him.